Hey everyone, it is so good to have you here today. But seriously, I need you to pause whatever you are doing right now and listen closely because a massive breaking update just completely turned the Lynette Hooker case upside down. We all know this case has been dragging on for weeks, and we were all getting bored of hearing the same old stories over and over again. But what just happened is a total game changer that destroys everything Brian Hooker ever told the police. The U.S. Coast Guard investigators just secured something huge. They got their hands on secret, hidden evidence bags that were turned over from the Bahamas, and what is inside these bags has completely shattered Brian's story into pieces. The feds are looking at this right now as a pure murder investigation, and the evidence points directly at Brian being a criminal. But wait, it gets even more shocking than that. Brian and Lynette's next-door neighbor, Jordan Plants, just stepped forward and broke her silence to the FBI.
Brian is violent verbally, physically, that she needed to get away from that. So she would leave periodically and then always go back. But
She revealed that their happy, perfect YouTube life was a complete lie. She caught Brian treating Lynette terribly, revealing a dark, hidden cycle of domestic violence where Lynette would literally have to run away for months just to stay safe. Even crazier, the FBI has just gone to the neighbors to grab all their Amazon Ring security camera footage from right before the trip to catch Brian's violent altercations on video. This brand new evidence completely changes the narrative. Please do not skip even one single second of this video, because if you miss anything, you won't understand how the feds are trapping him. Make sure to like this video right now. And now, let's move straight toward the evidence. The secret evidence bags currently sitting inside the U.S. Coast Guard impound are causing absolute panic for Brian Hooker, and for good reason. For weeks, Brian told anyone who would listen that his wife accidentally fell off their small 8-foot dinghy into the ocean. He claimed he had to row for 8 agonizing hours in the pitch black just to reach the shore because the boat keys fell into the water with her. But federal investigators just completely destroyed that alibi using pure, undeniable facts. When the feds finally seized that exact dinghy from a secure warehouse in the Bahamas, they uncovered something deeply unsettling. A highly specialized backup outboard engine, which was always documented as part of the boat's main inventory, was completely missing. Investigators are working under the heavy suspicion that Brian deliberately used this heavy engine as a deep water anchor to weigh something down in the ocean so it would never be found. What makes this even more terrifying is that Brian is a literal master of making things disappear. Before this trip, he was actually fired from his corporate job at AT&T for secretly rigging a system to mask the GPS tracking device on his work van. He knew exactly how to manipulate digital footprints, but he made a massive mistake out on the water. The feds recovered the hidden GPS data from his electronic devices, and it shows him lurking deep inside the thick mangrove lines of Elbow Cay at the exact time he claimed he was drifting helplessly at sea. Right now, the FBI is aggressively moving door to door around his neighborhood, seizing every bit of archival security camera footage they can find. They are looking for the final physical proof of the violent, volatile fights that define this marriage behind closed doors. The walls are closing in fast on Brian, but the ocean holds one more massive secret that investigators are about to drag into the light. That horrifying secret involves what multiple local witnesses saw and heard on the water at approximately 9:30 p.m. on the night Lynette vanished. Brian claimed everything was quiet and dark when his wife supposedly slipped under the waves. But terrified residents living near the Hopetown anchorage tell a completely different story that shatters his timeline. They reported hearing a massive, heavy splash echoing across the water directly from Brian's luxury yacht, the Soulmate. Immediately after that violent splash, multiple people watched in shock as bright emergency flares started piercing the night sky. But Brian did not fire these flares straight up to call for rescue teams like an innocent, desperate husband would do. Witnesses explicitly state the flares were fired horizontally, low across the surface of the water, almost as if they were being used to check if anyone was nearby watching him in the dark. While Brian was busy setting off these bizarre horizontal flares, he had no idea his every single move was being recorded by the yacht's automatic tracking system. The federal investigators have fully mapped out this data and it proves he was actively navigating the vessel through dangerous, shallow areas instead of floating helplessly. He was systematically covering his tracks while his wife was experiencing her final moments. The feds have now officially upgraded this from a missing person search to a suspected murder investigation on the high seas. Even though search teams and advanced sonar drones have not recovered Lynette's physical remains from the warm ocean waters, the legal trap is already set. The FBI is highly experienced in securing major homicide convictions without a body, and they are using the massive void of missing evidence to prove Brian's guilt. Every piece of survival gear he claimed floated away has completely vanished from the entire area, proving he cleaned the scene before help arrived. The entire illusion of Brian's grieving husband routine is completely falling apart because of what his closest neighbor just told federal agents. Jordan Plants lived right across the street from the couple for years, and she just exposed the terrifying reality of what happened behind those closed doors. On social media and YouTube, Brian carefully built a beautiful, loving facade of a perfect marriage, but his neighbor revealed that their actual daily life was a non-stop 25-year cycle of severe domestic violence. Brian was intensely volatile, subjecting Lynette to horrific verbal and physical abuse on a regular basis. It got so bad that Lynette would literally flee their home for several months out of the year, desperately running to her mother's house in Florida just to survive. She was trapped in a toxic loop of escaping and returning, and this final, fateful sailboat trip to the Bahamas was actually another desperate attempt to handle a highly dangerous domestic situation that was spinning out of control. When the crime took place, Brian quickly fled the Bahamas and scrambled back to the United States, using the sudden excuse that his mother was terminally ill. But the FBI just contacted Lynette's grieving mother, Darlene, who confirmed that this was another calculated lie to evade local authorities. Brian's mother was not sick at all. It was just a pathetic exit strategy to escape the island before the feds could officially lock down the borders and seize his passport. Right now, Brian is roaming completely free as a prime suspect, hiding out somewhere in America while refusing to make any contact with Lynette's devastated family. But his freedom is rapidly running out because the feds are extracting hidden digital data from neighbors' security networks to map out his violent behavior right before they set sail. The puzzle pieces are finally locking together, and a massive legal storm is about to hit him. What do you think about this insane digital evidence? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like this video and hit subscribe so you never miss the breaking arrest footage. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next update.